Hello, Caedan May. Caedan May's friend that reminds him of me and all other configurations of being. My name is Benjamin Eunice, and welcome to How to Make mogrt Files. So today I have a project open up from my latest YouTube video on urbanism and the 21st century walkability problem in our American cities today. Great video, you should watch it. I have here one of the titles that I used on, the bikes title, and I had a few of them. I had one bikes and then of course two, which would be mixed zoning and all that good stuff. If I wanted to use this title style in a lot of different places, I wouldn't want to do what I did in this case, which was just copy the composition and then change the text and everything else to match the new title. Which in this particular case was fine with. I just needed to do it once. It wasn't a huge deal. But if you need to use this title repeatedly, like you have a lower thirds that you want to be using a lot or something along those lines, mogrt files are fantastic because it allows Premiere Pro to read and use those motion graphics from After Effects to be customized for whatever you need. And if it's just a preset, like a transition that you always want to put in there, having a mogrt file and just opening it from the effects panel is so much easier in some ways. And if it fits your workflow, the best how you do it. There's certain things, like for instance, if I have an outro, it's always the same. I'll just import the After Effects file. That's fine. But in the case of certain transitions, it can be helpful. So looking at this particular title example, a couple of limitations that I've found. Number one, if you have a sub-composition, like the way that I did this, the way that I handled the actual composition that ended up in the video, I did a burnout. This mimics the way that old titles would burn in and burn out on film, and I wanted to make that look because I just thought it'd be cool, and so I sub-comped out one numbers, and I just made one of them. I just made this second layer red, only red channel to mimic that red fade out, and okay, cool, whatever. But the way I'm going to show you will not allow you to have subcomps. So keeping that in mind, I could figure out how you can add pre-comps into a mogrt file and make that work. But for now, this is just a simple way to do motion graphic titles that do not have any subcompositions or pre-comps. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go into the window and we are going to go down to the essential graphics and we're going to check that box. So this is going to add the essential graphics panel. And this is going to allow you to essentially make a motion graphics template. And if you're doing this on your computer, you do not need to worry about going in and finding these mogrt files and all that stuff. This is if you need to transition this from one computer to the other. But in this particular case, I'm just going to demonstrate how this works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to select the proper thing, 1, 2, which is this one, the copy that I got rid of the pre-comps, and it's just this. And now we want to be able to essentially change the text and do whatever we want. So we're going to import this. Number one, I want to make sure that this text, when you are changing the text, that every time you change the text doesn't do anything crazy, and that everything else is movable. In some ways you can, when it comes to the box sizes, say you have a lower thirds that has boxes in it. That box, when you say, have a longer name, if it goes beyond the box size, you want that box size to be dynamic. You would have to use JavaScript arguments to essentially do dynamic scaling to match with that, and that's a whole nother conversation that's very involved. I'm going to assume that you know to do that if you need to. If not, there's some other design character you can just design with that in mind. But in this case, it's a very simple title that we just need to make work. So with this, it's just alignment. Okay, for instance, the bikes, if I change from bikes to, I don't know, skateboards, that is going to be longer, but it's also just next to that one, and it just works. Now, another thing, obviously, keep in mind, is now it's like off skewed to the side, but once again, that's an easy thing. You can just shift that off to the side to make it work in this particular case. But in that case, just make sure that that is properly aligned. Bikes again, and on this side for the one, that's going to be probably aligned to the text from the right, where it extends off into the left side of the screen. In our case right now, it's not that way, so let's quickly select this, go into paragraph, and move to the right. It's going to require me to slightly bump this guy back over, but that's going to make my life a whole lot easier. Nope. Always get the wrong one. There we go. And we're going to make sure we do this equally kern everything. And now you see my secret, which is that whole weird graininess effect is quite literally just turbulent turbulent noise set on a random fractal generation over. And it's very quickly evolving. And of course, I posterized the whole thing to 12 frames per second because it looks nice, and that's the traditional frame rate of stop motion. So now that you got everything set up, everything is ready to be dynamically moved. We're going to go ahead and drag this guy up into this big blank area. It's going to allow you to change the text. And you don't do that, you actually go to the text, source text. All the way down here, source text. Boom. You have to do source text. You can't do that. I haven't done this in a while, sorry. Source text here, boom. Now it's going to have the default number. You could do 4,576, colon. And it works dynamically. 4,576. And then we just go back in here. We do source text. You're under arrest, Gilbert. And you have dynamic text, and it fell off the end. That's a cool. That would be a really interesting title for like a film, like I don't know, like a crime movie or like guy breaking out of prison. It's just like that'd be kind of neat. And you could make it kind of like come off the side like this, even like that, because then it's like that unsettling. Wait a minute, that's weird. That's off. Kind of brutalist in design. Anyways, so banana. We'll just make that our text. We'll just do 420 because why not? I'm a child inside. And now we have our source text. Now you can name this number, colon, and then you can name this word. And now we have, essentially you could say whatever you want this to be, title, subtitle, or name, first name, last name, whatever, occupation, all that good stuff, and whatever you need to. You could do all these kinds of things. In fact, you can add options if you want. You go path option, you go more options. You could say, I don't know, I want to animate the, on, not 420, on, the actual text, here. We go to here and we want to animate the tracking, or kerning is another way we call this. And we go here and we hit kerning because I like that word better. And then you got the slider. You go like, oh, I can make it really wide. Or that is, wow. I did not know that you could make it that extreme. So you might want to change how much the slider goes. I don't exactly know how to do that, but just type in like 200, you know. And that's still a lot. Let's do 20 there. Like that. That's more pleasant. Whereas the default being 0. So if you need to do some kerning, or you want to do animate, say, the line anchor or character offset's really fun because you could do character alignment, character offset. You could do random character offset like this. And so if you want to say do this, and then you can like edit the range, and you could say, oh, wait a minute, never mind. That actually was really useful. I don't know why that's not an option on kerning, but okay. And we can actually, when you get into Premiere Pro, this will, I believe, be keyframeable. So then you can literally have it just be this, and you can go like, random, and then it goes back to done, to that word. So you can do a lot of really cool things with that. Anything in here that is keyframeable, you can put into here. So that is the power of Essential Graphics. Now let's go ahead and export this guy and get it into Premiere Pro. So we're going to name this guy Stop Motion Prison, because it reminds me of a prison for some reason. We're going to export motion graphics template, and probably need to be saved first. Let's save it. And okay, exporting. Put in the local business templates folder. You could choose your folder. You can do whatever you need to do. I just say local templates folder. You can add keywords for searchability, hit OK. And not synced from Adobe, and that's okay because it's local. So if you're using a font that's not Adobe synced, that's fine. If you are, it won't give you that error. So now let's move over to Premiere Pro and see what we have here. I'm going to use an example. I was editing a Jax Films video because he made the edit file available, and I had to edit a Jax Films video. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Jax Films video, because why not? And also, that was like one of the most interesting editing experiences, because I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see what it was like editing a YouTuber's video, and now I know it's very interesting. We'll do this guy. Open it up. It's the last thing I edited so far. Before that, it was a trailer for a movie that hasn't come out yet. And when it loads, this probably wasn't the best idea, because I got like keying masks and everything all over the place. It's great. All right. I got a nasty grade on it too. Why is that so pink? I distinctly remember that not being that pink. This is the original grade, and then no, that's just the color of the image. All right, cool. So if we go ahead and just start saying, you know what, let's up. So let's say I just don't like that. I don't like that. I'll just put it over here. And we'll go ahead and go to the graphics library and say I'm just gonna say one eat cake, and that's what we're gonna put, because there's no other thing I can think of right now to do. And we're gonna go to my templates on the local templates folder, and you can just search. You can search stop motion prison. Oh, look, it's there. There it is. Look how cute it is. And then you drag it in, and there it is. And as we load up the motion graphics template, it's very slow, because I am very slow. All right. And then we zoom in here, and we just frame by frame it. Snap that guy. Boom. And it should work perfectly in this case. But no, that's why it was invisible. So there you go. And it works. And there you are. So, and we can just change the number to not a number. Computer broke. And there you go. And all that good stuff. And we can do the kerning and make it ridiculous, like 100. And now everyone, there you go. It works. And all that good stuff. It looks to me, because I'm curious if you can keyframe that stuff. Yes, you can. Graphic parameters. You go into here, and can you keyframe this? No, you can't keyframe this. I really don't know why you can't. This should be keyframeable. That's interesting to me. But yeah, there you go. That's how you make this preset work. And for more on that, Jax Films edit, I'm probably not going to release it publicly, but it's kind of funny. I got mad because it was like not high quality. So I thought, how high quality could I make it? How could I like up his production level? Because it's a released video. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So now you want to send this mogrt file to your friend who's questionably named AppData. She's really nice. She's really normal, but she's a little off. Maybe slightly off in the head. Perhaps she has astigmatism. Or she may have some kind of mental disorder that hasn't been found by science. You don't know that. But you want to send this file to AppData for whatever reason. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. So to find the mogrt file, we're going to look this up on the Google, because we need to figure this out. So mogrt file location. Let's just see if it just shows for both, because I know you guys are probably very likely not on. Because I know the last time I spoke with you, Caedan, you were on a Mac. So I'm going to make sure that I get the location for both of these guys. Where can you not buy? Find. Motion graphics folder location. So we go to here. The thing with Adobe is Adobe has a terrible implementation of motion graphics. Horrible. It's ridiculous, meaning their file system is garbage, and it's always been a problem with Adobe, and this is the reality of the Adobe. So, if we go into here, and there you go. For Windows, it is in this folder, so we just copy that. Let's see, does anyone say anything for Mac? There you go. Mac is in here. So, username /library/application support /adobe/common/motion graphics templates. That should be it. So for Windows, I'm just going to type and paste that guy in. It did not find it, so we're going to just go back into Adobe and just move from there. Oh, Meyer. Of course. because I'm not named Meyer. Roaming, Adobe, oh gosh, what was the rest of the folder? Common. Adobe, Common, Motion Graphics Templates. And we go into this folder, all right? And now we have various lists of things and folders. And in this particular sense, we can go into the specific one. There it is. It's right at the bottom. Stopmotionprison.mogrt. And this is a 45 kilobyte file. You just copy this guy, send it over the internet, whatever. When you get the file in on your end, you'll just navigate to your respective motion graphics template, paste it in there. Any subfolders also will have will be counted. So if you need to organize your mogurts, just be aware that's it. So that's how you find and transfer mogrt files between you and your colleagues. That reminds you of me for some odd reason. Anyways, I really appreciate you reaching out because I haven't seen you in a long time. So we should grab coffee. Coffee is a necessity in life, and it must be appreciated and used for conversation. Anyway, guys, I really hope this helped you guys out. I hope you guys are doing well in Dallas. I find it really funny. A lot of my friends moved to Dallas recently, so I'm like, I have like a really good reason to go over to Dallas, so I should do that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name is Benjamin Eunice, and thank you for watching Caedan May. Caedan May's friend that reminds him of me, and all other configurations of being. Talk to you guys next time.